Hello everyone, this is Frances from Baltic Apprenticeships. Today we'll be hearing from Jess Cheney, one of our business development managers here at Baltic. We'll be getting to know Jess and talking about all things Baltic, lockdown and parenting. So Jess, thanks for taking the time to be with us here today. I was thinking we could start with a couple of quick fire questions just to get to know you better. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Brilliant. So what is your favourite food?
Favourite food? Any food. Is that an answer?
Yes, absolutely.
I like
that is
food.
The answer. What song will always get you dancing?
Anything by the Arctic Monkeys. Yeah, Sheffield born and bred, so it's got to be.
What's your ideal superpower?
Good one. Ideal superpower. I'd like to be able to read people's minds.
Shoes or bags?
Both, but if I had to choose, it would be shoes.
Horror film or a rom-com?
Horror.
What time is gin o'clock?
1 minute past 5. And at the minute, that could potentially be every day.
Brilliant. How have you kept yourself occupied during the lockdown?
I think, as most people that have children at home, I don't think keeping occupied is an issue at all. I think I'd love to have more time not being occupied, if I'm honest.
Absolutely, and that's what we're going to be talking about in a little more detail later on. There were some absolutely brilliant answers there. Sorry to put you on the spot a little with some of them.
No problem.
Next, I thought we could talk a little bit about what you do at Baltic. So tell us a bit about your role. What does a business development manager do?
I'd say in a nutshell, we work closely with employers, mainly out in the field. So helping employers grow their own talent, be through apprenticeships or through upskilling existing members of staff.
And what's the best bit of your job? What can kind of put a smile on your face if something happens?
I'd say in a normal circumstance, I'd say it is being out and about and being face to face. That is what I love most about the job, obviously meeting different people. But I'd say even with an online meet at the minute, just getting to know new employers and building relationships that can often last many years. I think it's exciting seeing the passion that people have got invested in others. Obviously, it's the start of a journey, the beginning to someone's career, and getting that right opportunity with the right employer, it's going to have a huge effect on someone's life.
That is a brilliant answer. So coronavirus, it's really turned our world upside down, and I'm quite keen to find out what it's been like for you so far. So who's with you in your lockdown household? What's happening with that?
So in my house, you've got my little boy Jenson, who is 2 going on terrible.
Oh, wow.
And you've got, he's definitely a teenager already. And you've got my partner, or I call him my oldest child, but he's an essential worker, so he's out for at least 4 of the 5 days for a working week, and quite often it's from 5 a.m. till 5 p.m. So it makes for very long days.
Yeah, that must be quite tough.
Yeah.
So with all of that in mind, how has the coronavirus situation changed the way that you've had to work?
I think, again, my role being mainly face-to-face. I think, like everyone, being on lockdown has meant that all my meetings have changed to virtual. I'm not going to lie, and that obviously that is the most enjoyable part of my role, but it is also amazing to see how we've been able to adapt so effectively to still completing the meetings and still obviously outreaching to kind of our employers. And I think that part of it will definitely be sticking around for a while anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you on that. I think there will be a lot of change in the way that we do things afterwards. So so you're on lockdown with your little boy and your partner's working shifts and things. How is it going so far? How have you managed to merge work Jess with home Jess, or is that possible even?
It's tough, I'm not going to lie. I think everyone will agree that there's no switch off point or there's no separation, which is the hardest part. I think for me, the only good thing that has come from it is it's forced me out and running again, just because I get 30 minutes of peace to myself. But I think it is quite difficult to merge, and it's hard to keep, I suppose it's sometimes hard to keep calm, because it's just about trying to find the best balance between giving your little one your attention, as well as obviously getting everything done that needs to be done. There's no understanding from a child, especially of the younger age, as to why mummy can't play. So it's just a case of getting what you can do whenever you can, and thanking the Lord for naps.
Yeah. With all that in mind, what's the funniest piece of advice that you've seen about working from home with a little one? Is there something that people just do not get?
I would say it's not so much advice that I've seen, but I would say a few things that I've learned are make sure that all snacks are scheduled around calls or meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make those snacks take as long as possible, you're going to get a good while to obviously get things done. I've learned that for Teams meetings or Zoom meetings, they definitely take a lot more preparation when you've got a 2-year-old tantruming. So it's making sure that you're not covered in paint or Play-Doh before your meeting. And I'd say be creative. So the days that my partner is at home, sitting in the car on the drive can be the best office that you've ever found.
Just like hiding in your car.
Yeah, definitely. It has been done.
I want to do that. Yeah, change of scenery. So do you think social media is helpful or harmful for working parents at the moment?
I would say if you look at the right stuff, then of course it's helpful, definitely. But there is also a lot of pressure to be the perfect stay-at-home mum. And realistically, I think if it's not something you're used to in terms of juggling work and being at home with a little one, then we're definitely all winging it. I know that every day is not craft and baking in my house anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So what kind of realistic advice would you give to someone in your situation?
Breathe. You're not alone and it's not forever.
That is so concise. I'm going to put that on a post-it. That's brilliant. A lot of the time the focus has been on how parents can adapt, but what is the most helpful thing that an employer could do for parents right now?
I think it's just to be flexible and understanding, which I've been really lucky with. Things aren't necessarily going to run in the normal 9 to 5 as they would do. But I think as long as everything's done, everyone's happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's probably the solution there, isn't it?
Yeah.
What kinds of things, just the last question here now, what are you learning about yourself as a result of the lockdown? Or I suppose is the time for that?
Tough one. I'd say that it's not so much what I'm learning about myself, but there's definitely so much that I took or still take for granted, which is probably the same for everyone right now. But I think I'll definitely be writing myself a long list of things to show my appreciation more to on the other side of this.
Well, I think that's all we have time for today. But thank you so much, Jess, for taking the time to share your experiences. I think a lot of people will find it useful to know that they're not alone in this. This was Baltic's Jess Cheney, everyone. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you.